Welcome to the Big Messy Bun, you guys, episode 32. I brought myself a lot of notes today because I want to stay on track. And I want to give you guys, hopefully, an episode that will help you pivot in some things that you might be stuck in and to continue to keep going, like to continue to persevere. Now, all of that is going to require some patience. So the title of this is Patience and Perseverance. And I might throw another P in there and pivot because sometimes we have to do all of those things to kind of keep the course and keep going. I know this is a recurring theme here on the Big Messy Bun, but we are right now experiencing the summer of change in my wellness community. And just last night, I was talking to my classes about this. And I thought, I think I'm going to record a podcast on this today. And so here we are. I'm ready for this one. And I hope that you guys are too. So this is going to be short and sweet. Last week's episode, I want to first start off by thanking Martin Lockett for coming and sharing his story. If you have not taken the time to go back and listen to episode 31 with Martin Lockett, please go do it and share it with whoever you feel needs that message. And I think everyone would benefit from that the message in that one. And same with here. So we're going to get right to it. And we're going to talk about what I shared with class last night. So I teach fitness classes online. And during our sessions, we are not just simply lifting weights and moving our bodies. I often get into a zone that's kind of hard to describe. I feel like a higher power enters the room with me. And you all can think it's woo or not. But if you've attended my classes, you know that there's a certain element of unknown and surprise. Like, what is she going to talk about tonight? What is she going to share? What's going to come up? Because I have the routine mapped out. That's a solid plan. I have my music planned out. Those two things, solid. I usually have my outfit planned out. I have one of, however many outfits that I'm going to wear. I always have my socks and runners planned out. That's a given. But the spice to the workout, the extras, that I never know what's going to fly out of my mouth. I just go with the flow. I go with the energy of the room. Now, you might be thinking, energy of the room? Like, how do you have energy in a room when it's on Zoom and they're all muted? Trust me, there is an energy in a room, even over Zoom, if you're running it efficiently and like authentically and real. And I see it and I feel it. Yes, it's wild, but it happens. So last night, we were having a great class. On Sundays, we bring our groups together and we have what's called a mashup class once a week. We have a mashup class once a week. We gather everybody together and we do this great workout, all fitness levels in one room. And so after class, I kind of have open mic where people can share wins. They can share how they're doing. Well, last night, one of our members was sharing that she had a tough week. She was going through some stuff and she was feeling a little guilty, kind of beating herself up a little bit for quote unquote, falling off the rails. But I like right away, I was like, hold up. I'm like, you've got to be patient with yourself. You went through something that was really challenging. You must be patient with yourself. And you are here tonight. You persevered. You got your ass here. You are doing it. And everyone on the screen was clapping and cheering for her. It was so beautiful. And then another woman piped up and said, that's what I love about this. Like, we're here for each other. We encourage each other. Some nights you don't want to do it, but they keep putting that one foot in front of the other. Now, something I said during class really resonated with this woman because at some point during the workout, I said, when you do challenging things, sometimes you feel like you're knocked down. Sometimes you even have failure in our workouts. Like, we go to a place called failure in training. And that is also going to teach you in real life how the things we do in the gym mimic real life. And one thing that I explained to the group that's really special, that I don't know if you've ever heard this or even believe it. Believe it if you want. I'm sure it's science backed, but y'all, I just know it because I've been doing this for so long and I know how words resonate when you are active, when you are moving your body, when you are doing something physical and learning at the same time. Y'all can write me in and tell me what the science is, because I'd love for you to share with me, because I know you know it. One of you out there is listening going, I know what that is. Write and tell me. Throw it in the comments. Do something with it. But there is something magical that takes place when you are physical. Now we have, I know, the neuromuscular connection. Our muscles and brains work together. But on top of that, I'm talking about on top of it, when you hear something really powerful, maybe it's a song lyric, maybe it's something that your coach is shouting out during the workout, during that tough part. What are you feeling? And it's different. It hits you different. This is how I explained it to her last night. I said, it hits you different when you hear it while you're moving versus if you heard that same word, but you're sitting on the couch eating Doritos. Like, it doesn't have the same impact as when you are being physical. And then I am, as your coach, going to give you all kinds of literary things to think of. And what are they called? Analogies, ways to get through that workout. And I do it with all ages, because sometimes you're going through something and it has to make sense for some. And so I help make sense of it all. I help bring your daily life into the workout. And so something I'm a big believer in is patience. Patience. I also believe in persevering, like keep going. Yes, take a nap. Yes, have a good cry. Yes, do those things. I'm not a fucking machine. I'm not a robot. I do all those things, and so do you need to. So if you're in the middle of a shitstorm, understand this, that your goals that you have set for yourself, the way you want your life to turn out, you're the producer here. You're the one that has to do the things. You've got to pull in the right resources. You've got to let go of the things that are not serving you. You do. And then if the shit hits the fan, something comes up, you need to rest, you need to regroup, you need to be patient with yourself, and then we got to get back. If that's what you want to do. Maybe you're like, you know what, I've decided I'm no longer doing that goal anymore. Then you've changed, and that's cool too. Then move on. But I do feel that when we lack that patience with ourselves, that's when we quit. That's when we give up too early. When you might have been just close to hitting a level of change in whatever the thing is that you're wanting to change. Okay. I tend to talk fitness because that's my jam. But I also like to talk about other things in here. I like to talk about rebuilding your life. I like to talk about regrouping your finances and getting your shit in order. Love talking about decluttering and getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve you. So this patience thing can be with everything. I know that when I was raising my children, I had 3 of them and I raised them alone for the most part. And even when I was partnered, I often felt, I even had a counselor tell me, you are someone partnered, but you're still raising your children as a single parent. And that's true. And some of you that might resonate with. And during that time, I have to say, in the early years, I was so grateful that I had a mom that would say to me, Katey, don't make any big decisions between 4 and 8 p.m. It's just not a good time. It's not. And it's not a good time for me. I am really careful what I commit to between the hours of 4 and 8. Not commit to during those times, but like if you called me up at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday, well, I'd be teaching class. So let's use Wednesday. You called me up Wednesday, 6 o'clock, and you want to ask me, hey, can you do this on this day? I'd be like, I'm going to let you know tomorrow. Boom. And I take the day and I think about it and I let it go, and then I sleep on it, and then I make that decision. Unless it's life or death, then yes, I make decisions fast. I am very quick at making decisions that way. And so be aware of that. That might happen. But when you have the time, that was something that my mom drilled into my head. Don't punish the kids with something that you know you're not going to follow through the next day. Don't be like pissed off at them and something goes bad at 6 o'clock and then you're giving them a grounding. And by 9 o'clock, you're like lifted the grounding because you couldn't handle it anyways, right? We've all done that. I know I have. So the same is with us, right? Now I want to come back. I took notes, you guys, and I wrote notes on purpose of what I wanted to share here. So being patient, you have to remember, we're going to go back to this. Things are not going to happen overnight. No, nothing happens like that overnight. Nothing good and long lasting. Okay. So we've got to be patient. We've got to put in the reps. We've got to keep doing the thing. And whatever that looks like for you, this can apply to any goal you have. So if you're listening to this and you're like, you know what, I really want to open up that clothing store, or you know what, this is the year I am going to learn to play that guitar. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen if you keep putting in the work. Keep doing those little steps that keep moving the needle in the direction you want to go. Because if you simply take off the gas, it's never going to happen. Then you need to regroup and ask yourself, how bad did you want it? That might sound harsh, right? You're like, how bad did you want this thing to happen? And so when we look at something like our health, and that's not something I will say to people like, how bad do you want it? I think most of us want good health. Hands up, 2 hands up if that's you, if you want good health. Come on. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say we all want good health. I don't think anyone wakes up and is like, you know what? I'm just going to say, fuck it and have the shittiest health ever and I'm going to be happy. That's great. That's exactly what I want. No, that is not what I believe. I don't. I believe we do. So then it's a matter of figuring out what things have to be in place. How can we make this work? How can this be more feasible for you? And be patient with yourself because it isn't going to happen overnight. It is not. It's going to happen as you put in the time over and over and over. And again, working on this part, the brain, the mind, the thinking aspect of things, this is what's going to talk you out of it. Honestly, like this is going to get in the road all the time. So when you can hijack this area and be like, all right, so you're going to strengthen your mental muscle. And that's a little bit what I was talking about at class the other night when we were doing something challenging. I'm now strengthening her mental muscle at the same time so that in life she can have more say or more independence, more empowerment, right? In life situations. And so working on that muscle, and there's muscles or there's thoughts that run through our heads that want to hijack us and take us to a place that's not serving us. We all have this happen. I think I did an episode a couple weeks ago about my own intrusive thoughts, things that just didn't make sense that I don't want to have. You got to work at it and you got to pivot and you got to think of something different. And maybe that means taking a walk, fresh air. This morning, I was working with a client one-on-one, and she was having a tough go. And I said, can we just stop and breathe for a bit? Just stop and breathe. Maybe you're here listening to this and you're like, oh my God, I can't even believe how I'm going to get through this day. Just stop. Take a breath. Like just take a big inhale, hold that, and out. Like just breathe right now if you're going through something like that. Now, once you've regrouped and you're able to, then continue to put those things in place. And if it's a goal that's pretty lofty, pretty big, or you feel like this is going to take a lot, you might have to get pretty dialed in and pretty focused on you. And you're the main person, right, in your life. You're like the main character. You're like the main character. And everyone else around you, they're like the supporting cast, honestly. And you have to live your life like that. Like you've got to be the main. You've got to fill your cup. You've got to fill your cup. I'm going to just keep saying that till I'm 125. You've got to keep filling your cup. You cannot serve others with an empty cup. You've got to fill it. And whatever it looks like for you. What fills my cup? I could tell you, but it's not going to mean anything. You want to know why? Our cups are all different. We are. We're as different as all the mugs out in the world. Seriously, you've got to know what is your requirements for rebuilding. What are your requirements for continuing to persevere? What do you need? How do you practice patience with yourself? It's going to look different than the next person. Some people love to meditate. Others walk in the forest. Others go dancing. There's no right or wrong way of doing life, you guys. The way you do it is the way you do it. For me, I could tell you 1,000 times what I do, but again, it's not going to make sense. So when you can get really dialed in and really focused in on what you need, like really take that deep dive and then start creating that and create some boundaries for yourself so that you can stay the course. You can keep doing that without guilt, without feeling like shit. And when the big things come up, they're going to, you guys. They are going to come up in your life. And when you can just pivot a little bit, know that this week might not be exactly as you had planned, and then come back in. Allow yourself just to ease back in right where you left off on whatever that thing is, whatever that goal is. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And when you do that, that's when the magic of it all starts to take place. But you can't beat yourself up over things. If you can find the patience and then persevere. I think we get started on things, okay? So I have a lady that comes to my class and she recently shared, I don't know why I quit. Like I get so far and then I just stop, whether life gets in the way. I'm going to have a deep dive with her to see how I can help her from not stopping. Like, why do we go so far and then stop? Like, you wouldn't take a road trip. Let's say I wanted to go to Campbell River and I was in a car and I'm driving all the way to see my boys. I wouldn't stop in like, I don't know, I'm going to say Calgary. I wouldn't stop in Calgary and be like, not continue the trip and expect to get there. Like I wouldn't stop in Calgary and think, oh, I should be there by now. Your goals are no different. Your health is no different. So we need to just keep going. Now, the thing we talk about a lot on this show is your health bank needs continual deposits. But it doesn't have to be massive deposits, but consistent deposits. So when this girl said she loves our Zoom community, she loves the classes, and then she gets off the rails for whatever reason. So now I'm going to work with her and find out when that derail starts, okay? This is a big one, guys. If you're right now currently in a space of life where you feel like you are doing so good, I always think of that song, so good, Sweet Caroline. Okay, come on, I work at a retirement home. We listen to that about 8 times a week. So good. When you are doing so good and then stuff happens and you start to fall, find someone to reach out to that helps you. Like that person that knows how much you want that goal for yourself. Confide in them. Confide in your coach. Let them know, hey, if you don't see me there, can you shoot me a message? I do tend to do that with my clients. If I don't see them at class, I'm like, hey, missing you. Where are you at? Boom. And sometimes it's just something happened and they're like, oh, thank you. I'm so glad you messaged. That's it. Just a little. So if I've ever come into your inbox, just so you know, if you've ever been in my fitness world and I'm checking in on you, I'm checking to see how you're doing because I care. Not to be annoying, not to be like, what you up to now, Janet? I don't know if I even have a Janet, but that's what I mean though. Like you need to have check-ins, guys. And if you feel like you're starting to fall, I have a few core people in my life that I will call up and be like, are you free? I need to chat. And then boom, 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 we talk, boom, reset, boom, we're going. Now we're persevering again. Got to be patient. And you've got to ride those waves when the waves get rough and you need to just hold on to that surfboard and just cruise until you can get up again. Right? That's what we're doing here at the Big Messy Bun. All right. If you haven't done it yet, folks, I need you to do something for me. I'm not asking much. Okay. This is what I'm asking this week. If you could take this episode, download it. Okay. Or when you go into your file, there's a little button you tap on 3 dots, I think, and then it will come up, share episode. Click it, copy link, send it to a friend, post it on your social media, post it in your stories on Instagram or Facebook. Help share this show. That's how we grow. And that's what I would love to see on the Big Messy Bun, is reaching more people, normal, everyday people, just navigating life together. So hit the follow button, share this show, and you all know what just floats my boat? Comments. Can you drop a comment? I think the last comment was like in June. So could you please drop me a comment in the comment section? Anything. Maybe you like my getup today. I look like, my boyfriend said I look like I'm ready for ballet class. Well, I actually have such really messy hair today that I had to like slick it back and hairspray it. But I kind of like it too. It feels good. So that's it. The show is not about hair. It is about patience. I just forgot my, oh my God, it sounded like I said fart. I just about forgot the name, patience and perseverance today on the Big Messy Bun, and have a great one.